stand in solidarity with the 32 families and the 32 men that were detained in Mount Pleasant, Iowa yesterday morning.
Whenever we have raids like this, it doesn't just affect the people that are detained. Obviously, they're affected directly because they're sitting in prisons and jail cells where they should be at home with their loved ones. And I also want to tell you that this affects every single immigrant, undocumented or documented, that is living in our state, because it lets them know that our state is not safe for them. So if you know immigrant families, or if you have a friend who might be undocumented, make sure you're showing them support too, because this can be a hard time for a community that deals with a great deal of depression, anxiety. So we need to be able to support them in that way too. So please be mindful of those, of your neighbors, because this is a very hard time. Not only thinking about those families who are suffering, but all of us that are still at risk of someday being detained like they were yesterday.
This was a solidarity event. The 32 families that were affected by the raid yesterday requested that immigrant allies across the state gather together in solidarity, because what affects one of us affects all of us. Yesterday morning, ICE officials, along with Henry County Sheriff's Department and Mount Pleasant Police, raided a concrete facility in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. They entered the facility wearing riot gear and bearing guns. Sadly, I wasn't surprised by what was happening. I knew it was only a matter of time because ICE has been having consistent activity in Iowa, but it was pure chaos. They went down one by one, asking for papers. Outside, helicopters flew overhead.
Y afuera estaban volando helicópteros.
So there's a correlation between the 10-year anniversary of the Postville raid that's coming this weekend and the raid that happened yesterday in Mount Pleasant.
Local police were forced to act as ICE agents. Because this is a traumatic experience. There was one 14-year-old boy who is now an orphan, and so we're trying to help him as best we can to figure out where does he go, how does he continue being a normal Iowan, how does he get reunited with his father. Imagine being one of these people. This is the feeling that immigrants in Iowa and this country feel every single day. Last night, 32 families went to sleep, not knowing where their fathers or husbands were.
ICE has been detaining people every single day in all over Iowa, but the raid at this scale hasn't happened in a while. And so I believe they are trying to send a message.
ICE does not give up information. They hide these people in secret in order to deport them quickly. It's important for all of us as allies to continue to lift up this issue and not ignore it like ICE wants us to do. There were several people who have documents that were detained. This is illegal and a clear example of racial profiling. But the best place to donate fiscally would be at First Presbyterian Church. So you can mail a check to 902 South Walnut Street in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Stay tuned, follow Iowa CCI and Iowa Dream Coalition on social media, and we'll keep having updates. We want to get in touch with the ICE offices, and so we'll be having more information as the days come. We don't want police acting as ICE agents. Migra in Espanol means immigration. So we don't want polimigra in Iowa. We don't want polimigra in the United States.
No polimigra! 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 No polimigra!